What's up, y'all? Let's do this. Oh, hi guys, welcome to Nikki's World. I'm Nikki, your host, and today, guys, we got to talk about who the hell sabotaged the Nord Stream 2 pipeline in Europe, man. I got my theories on this, and I got my prime suspect on this, okay? So we got to talk about that and many more. But before we go any further, guys, if you guys love Nikki's World so much, guys, seriously, please consider donating a cup of coffee for me, because for a price of a cup of coffee at Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, and Cumberland Farms, guys, you guys help keep this podcast show alive. You guys help me curate more stories, more topics like this to talk about. I do accept Bitcoin donations. I'm also on Locals, guys, if you guys want to support and sponsor this podcast show. If you guys love Nikki's World so much, please hit that like, subscribe, please give me a review, good, bad, and the ugly. And before we get this show on the road, literally, guys, and I mean literally on the road, if you guys love this episode and any of my other episodes on Nikki's World, please consider sharing this across all the social media platforms that are out there today. Woo-wee, woo. All right, guys, all right. I'm on the road right now. I'm on the way to work. You know what I mean? So it's another day for me, you know. Yesterday I had to go to the UMass Worcester to see my dermatology scientist because they wanted to do a status check on my vitiligo, see if it's progressing or I'm stable, which right now I am. So, and then at the same time, talking about this new medication that came online, so we're trying to see if we can get that for me, and if we can, that'd be great. If we can't, we'll have problems with it. All right, but I do want to talk about this today, guys. This came out yesterday, okay, in the news. It seems like the Nord Stream 2 pipeline in Europe that connects Russia to Germany, it got sabotaged yesterday. It got attacked. So you gotta wonder, who's your prime suspect in this? Who is your prime suspect in all these attacks? You gotta wonder who's your suspect. Because it seems to me, ladies and gentlemen, it seems to me that you have Joe Biden, who claimed that, if Russia invades Ukraine, we'll make sure he doesn't get this and this and this. It seems to me, guys, I ain't no conspiracy theorist, but I do believe Joe Biden had a hand in sabotaging the Nord Stream 2 pipeline. I do believe that, okay? I do believe he is basically setting ourselves up and pushing us into World War III here. You know, I don't want to be an alarmist. I don't want to scare the living shit out of y'all, but it looks like we're walking ourselves into World War III here, you know? And then just today, on the news, the U.S. Embassy in Russia told Americans to flee the country. Same thing with here in Russia. Their embassy told their citizens, get out of the country, get out of the country. I'm telling you right now, guys, this idiot in the White House is basically pushing us to World War III. They are pushing us to global thermonuclear war here. They are. And I hate to say this, man. I hate to say this. I hate to wake up one day and find out we are in like a global war. You know what I mean? I tell you this, man. I tell you this. With that conflict in Ukraine and all that shit, I tell you, man, we're setting ourselves up for a global conflict. We are, man. We are. I wouldn't put it past the idiots in the White House or in Congress right now. I wouldn't put it past them, because they're the ones that are pushing for this. They're the ones that are really pushing like a global nuclear conflict with Russia, man. It's like this is, and you know why they're doing this? It's just payback for the fact that they think that Russia stole their election and Russia stole their votes and all that shit. But to me, regardless of the outcome, I just look at it like this: we are pushing ourselves towards a global conflict. We are. It's no end in sight. It is. It's no end right now. We're right now being pushed into a global war. And with the idiot in the White House, with the dementia president who has his fingers on the nuclear weapons in this country, I fear by the 2024, we're going to be pushed into a global conflict with no end in sight. I fear a global conflict. I fear a global war is about to fall upon us. And these Democrats who are too dumb fucking stupid to understand this, is that we're being led into a global war. And these people are saying, oh no, it's Russia's fault, it's Putin. But these are the guys that are actually pushing for it. And these are the guys that are actually pushing us into a global conflict. I fucking hate to say this, guys. I really do, guys. I really hate to say this. We're being pushed into a global war. We're being pushed into a global conflict with no end in sight. Okay? We slowly are. And the sad thing about this, guys, is that we're like one step closer to a global nuclear conflict. Okay? We are. Putin's desperate right now in Ukraine. He's shipping what? Every able-bodied person to fight this war in Ukraine. And then at the same time, he's depleted all his stockpile. And he's already said like this: nukes are on the table. And then yesterday you had this sabotage on the Nord Stream 2 pipeline, which can be seen from aircraft and all that. You gotta wonder, guys. You gotta wonder, how close are we to going nuclear? How close are we in the United States from going into a global nuclear conflict? How close? Because I'll tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, we are that close to going to a global nuclear conflict. We are. We are this close to going to a global war, okay? If not with China, possibly with Russia. We are that close. And that's fucking scary. That is. It's scary to the 10th degree. The prospect of being pushed into a global conflict. It is. I mean, most of us, we don't want to get pushed into a global conflict. We don't. We want to try to avoid it as much as possible. We do. But we're getting pushed into it with no end in sight. I mean, literally, we are being pushed into a global conflict with Russia. And if it turns nuclear, all because of this supposedly sabotage from Nord Stream 2, I'm telling you, man, how many people in this country is going to be sacrificed for this shit? How many people are going to be sacrificed? That's the question. That's the question Democrats have to answer. How many young people are you going to sacrifice for this global conflict that y'all wanted to start, man? How many? Because it seems y'all don't have a number to pin on. Y'all don't have that exact number of people you want to commit to a global conflict. It begs the question. It begs the question here in this country. Is this Pino walking us into World War III? If it is, we need to get him out of the White House. Stat. We need to get him out as fast as we can. Because we don't want to walk into a global conflict. I tell you what, if many of y'all are a student of history, I want y'all to read up on the Dell theory of conflict. Read up on that theory. Because the theory states is like this. No two superpowers who are interlinked, both economically, politically, and militarily, will never go to war with each other. They won't. Because you know why? Both superpowers knocking themselves out won't end well, ladies and gentlemen. It won't end well at all. It won't. Because it'll end in catastrophe. Okay? If two superpowers go to war with each other, it'll end in disaster. I'm telling you this right now. It'll end in catastrophe. It will. Because for the U.S. to go to war with Russia, and both countries are armed with nukes, I hate to be called up to fight this shit. You know what I mean? I really do, man. I really hate to be called up because that could happen. That could happen, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, you could have people who are retired, who are reservists, or who hold the military ID card. They can get called up for this shit. So many of us are doing all we can to prevent this shit from happening. Yeah, we are. But the problem is, you have the idiot, the dementia president, who basically has his finger on the nuclear button. My question is, who is allowing this guy to walk us into World War III? Okay? Quite frankly, it's like this. We don't need to be involved in the Ukrainian conflict. We don't. We just need to stay out and let Europe handle that conflict. Okay? We just need to stay out of it. Because technically, Ukraine is not a NATO member. And they don't trigger Article 4 and 5. Now, if it happened to, say, Poland or Romania, which is a NATO member, yeah, they would trigger in Article 4 and 5, and we would come in to help them out. We would. But since Ukraine is not a NATO member, and they're likely a European Union member, then the EU should take the lead. The EU should just jump in and say, yeah, we'll take over from this. We'll clean this mess out. Yeah. So that's why we should stay out of this conflict. I mean, if they want to buy weapons from us, I go like this. Put the cash up front. We'll sell you whatever weapons you want. We'll sell you whatever weapons you need. We want cash on delivery. It's as simple as that. We want COD, cash on delivery. Okay? And we'll just say to Russia, business. It's business, dude. We just sell them the gear. What they do to it, as soon as we deliver it to the airport, whatever they do to it, that's on them. That's not us. It's as simple as that. It's business. We'll just say like this, hey, we just sold them the gear. What they do, it's their own shit. Yep. So that's why it's like this, guys. That's why it's like this. We're walking ourselves into World War III here. No prongs about it. We're walking ourselves into World War III. This dementia of a president is basically walking ourselves in. We're basically like 1 foot into a war, and with this like sabotage from the Nord Stream 2, I'm not surprised if that's putting us closer than ever. I'm not surprised. If this is putting us closer to a global nuclear conflict, and if it turns out that someone in Joe Biden's administration sabotages to get us sucked into this, I hate to say this, all fucking bets are off the table, ladies and gentlemen. All bets are gone. You can forget about like everything. You can forget about trying to negotiate a settlement, trying to negotiate a truce. You can literally forget about it. All bets are off. If we're basically walking into World War III, I would say like this, ladies and gentlemen, stockpile on everything that you know, okay? Stockpile on everything under the sun. Because I'm telling you right now, if we walk ourselves into a global nuclear conflict, you can see every major city being under attack. Pretty much. And this dumb idiot in the White House is basically walking us into one. When we left one in Afghanistan, and now they want to walk us into another one? No thank you, dude. No fucking thank you. Nope. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, if this turns out to be true that they sabotaged our pipeline, or they sabotaged the Nord Stream 2, I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, we are walking ourselves into a war. Okay? We are walking ourselves into a war that ain't gonna end well. I'll say this clearly, man. And my theory on this is that I think somebody in the Biden camp sabotaged that pipeline to make it look like an accident, because that way it gives them the pretext for us to walk into a global conflict. If you look at it like this, why is it that like nobody in the Biden camp complaining about this, saying, oh, look at this, but when you got the EU member from Poland saying, look, the USA sabotaged the pipeline to trigger a global war. What does this fucking tell you, ladies and gentlemen? What does this fucking tell you? If this is true that the EU Parliament member from Poland is saying that the US sabotaged us to suck us into a global war, we are fucked, ladies and gentlemen. We are fucked royally. We are fucked beyond fucked. Okay? To walk us into another war, another endless, stupid fucking war with another superpower, that is unquestionable in my book. That is basically the lowest of the fucking low. It is. It really is. And it's why I'm saying like this, guys. I'm saying like this. We got to do all we can to stop this country from walking ourselves into another war. We gotta. And I know Putin wants to deal with Ukraine. I say like this. Let him deal with it. We're staying out of it. And we should stay out of it as much as we can. Okay? We should. So that's why I worry that we are walking ourselves into another global nuclear war. We are basically walking ourselves into a global conflict. We are, guys. So we are walking ourselves into a World War II or World War III. Take your pick, ladies and gentlemen. Take your pick. Which one we're walking into? Okay? Because I guarantee you, we are walking into a global conflict. Okay? And it won't take much, but I'm not surprised. I'm not. Alright? So anyway, guys, I want to talk about this article from Reclaim the Net. It seems like this. Big tech, along with the Democrats, the left, and the communists, they seem to be hell-bent on silencing anyone who disagrees with them, okay? And especially the whistleblowers that are coming out. It seems to me, guys, the wife of the whistleblower, the wife of the FBI whistleblower who is coming out saying this is what the FBI has been doing to people, violating their rights, violating their so-and-so and so-and-so. I'm telling you, this is why, guys, y'all should not use Facebook to communicate privately. Y'all should not. Anything you communicate on Facebook can be read by someone in that company. It can be. So, ladies and gentlemen, I wouldn't even use Facebook if my fucking life depended upon it. Because anything you post up there, anything you say up there, can be read by somebody from that company. And if they don't like what you post, they can flag it. They can like suspend it. They can say, nope, you're not posting it. You're not putting it up. You are not putting it up there. Nope. So this is why, guys, I've said this many times. And I've said this many times on my podcast show. Get away from these leftist tyrant media types. Get away from these people, okay? Create an account on alternative social media, okay? Now, I know some people say, oh, well, you have these QAnon anti-vaxxers and all these people. Well, these people have a right to speak what they want. They have a right to say what they want, and we respect that as a freedom of speech. But the fact of the matter is, guys, people need to get away from big tech, especially Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Get away from these people, because these people do not care about your rights. They do not care about your civil liberties. They don't. For that matter, guys, they don't even care about your freedom of speech. Because if you say something or post something they don't like, or they don't like your views, opinions, beliefs, I'm telling you, they can deplatform you and block you, suspend you, and say, oh, violates our community standards, whatever the fuck that means. Or it's another way of saying, well, we don't like what you say, we don't like what you post. Guess what? We're blocking you. Simple as that. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, y'all need to get away from these from these people as fast as you can. Get as far away as you can from these people. These people do not care what you say, what you think, or what you post, because they will do this. If they don't like what you post, and they don't care what side you're on, if you're not on the same side as them, they'll cancel you. They'll block you. They'll suspend you. They'll even deplatform you. If they find out what you post is something they don't like or agree, they'll get rid of you. Just like the wife of that FBI whistleblower. They locked her Facebook account because she was texting with her colleagues and something that they didn't like. They booted her. And that's why, guys, and I'm sorry if I cough, that's why, guys, get away from these people. You gotta get away from these people. These people in the liberal social media types, they don't care about your freedom of speech. I'm sorry. They don't care about freedom of speech. They don't care about your free speech rights. If they don't like what you post, or if you expressed an opinion, viewpoint, or belief they don't like, they'll get you canceled within 2 seconds. They'll get you booted. They'll get you suspended. They'll get you deplatformed. They will. And I have friends on like other sites. I talk about their alternative social media. They say, "Oh no, that doesn't happen. Oh no, that only happens to like right wingers, QAnon folks, and all this." I go like this. Cancel culture is cannibalistic. Cancel culture is toxic. Okay? It is so toxic, it is cannibalistic, and they will eat their own. They're already doing that already, because they already canceled so many people on the far right that people on the far right said, "Fuck it, we're done. We don't want to deal with your shit." Guess what? We're leaving. We're going to alternative social media sites. So now that they're done canceling and deplatforming everybody on the right, guess who their next target is? People on the far left, and they're literally canceling people who are not woke enough like them. They are. I've seen instances where far left people who don't espouse the woke ideology, who basically are not woke enough like them, they're getting the cancel hammer. They're getting the deplatform hammer. They're getting the doxing, the hounding, because they're eating themselves, because they canceled too many people on the right, and people on the right said, "Fuck it, we're done. We had enough of your shit. We're going elsewhere." So since there's nobody on the right to cancel anymore, the left is going after their own. They're eating their own alive. And a lot of people on the left think, "Oh no, it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen." Because you know why? They're too stupid, they're too oblivious, and they're too dumb to see it. They hadn't, basically, as we call it, been red-pilled. The minute you take the red pill and you realize that they're eating their own, this is why, guys, like what happened to the wife of the FBI whistleblower. It's like, why would you want to use the platforms anymore? Why would you want to use Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, or WhatsApp? Why would you want to use those platforms? Why? I I don't use them anymore. I mean, granted, I have a presence on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, but that's just to keep in touch with friends, families, and all that. But if I wanted to post my true feelings, opinions, and beliefs, fuck no, it's straight up alternative social media. It's straight up going on Gab, MeWe, Minds, Power, Rumble, Getter, Truth Social. You know, I don't care what these QAnon people, these anti-vaxxers say, because you know why? I go with this. That's their opinion. They're entitled to it. I respect their right to speak. Yeah. But the fact of the matter is, a lot of my friends who go like this, well, I don't want to go on a platform with these people, these QAnon people. Well, you don't have to entertain these people. That's the problem. The people on the left are all complaining about, oh, I have to entertain these people. Well, you ever heard of the adult thing? If you don't like what they say, you don't have to listen to them. You don't have to tune in. You're not forced with a gun to your head to listen to them. You're not. Okay? You're not. Simply put, I'm on these alternative social media platforms for a couple of reasons. One, I'm sick and tired of all the of the liberal social media sites' policies. Their policies are so stupid that it fucking makes me go like this. Who the fuck wants to deal with this shit? Second, I wouldn't step foot back on Twitter ever again. I hadn't been on Twitter since 2018, and it's 2022. It's been 5 years since, and I wouldn't step foot on it because it's toxic. It's basically disgusting, and there's no real, genuine conversation. All it is basically people shouting at each other because they can't learn to agree and disagree like grown adults, and then they think that their worldview is based on what's off of Twitter. That's why, guys. That's why I'm not on those liberal platforms. I mean, granted, I have Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, but Facebook, I keep that to keep in touch with family. Instagram, yeah, I have it, but I don't generate enough users. I don't. Okay, folks? I don't generate enough content to be on to have a viable presence. I don't. Okay? So instead, ladies and gentlemen, I just stay on alternative social media platforms. I do. Alternative social media platforms like Gab, MeWe, Minds, Parler, Rumble, Getter, Truth Social, and Vero. I can say things, post things that Facebook would take down in less than 2 seconds of me posting it. It's like, for example, if you ever post something remotely nudity or remotely showing a nipple, regardless if it's male or regardless if it's a female, male, or an F to M, they would block you within 5 seconds. They would knock you down within half a second. They would block you, suspend you, and say, oh no, you're suspended for 30 days for presenting nudity, or whatever the fuck it's called. Yeah, or whatever the fuck it is. But this is why, folks. This is why I tell people, create an account on an alternative social media platform. You don't have to entertain people on the far right. I don't. I just go on there because I value freedom of speech. I value the ability to speak freely. I really do. I mean, for me, I want to be able to speak freely. I want to be able to speak my right and speak my mind. I want to be able to speak without fear of censorship, deplatforming, and all this shit. I want to. I really do. But I have friends who try to say, "Oh no, that's a far right site. That's a far right." You know what? That's a liberal talking point. That's a liberal media talking point because they're trying to scare people from going into it. And here's the thing: people on the far right are very tolerant, are very accepting of differences of opinion. We are so accepting of everyone's opinions and viewpoints, unlike the left, who is more of like, oh, if you don't agree that men can get pregnant, men can be women, or this and this and this, then you should be canceled. You should be this and this and this. You should be excluded from everything. To me, ladies and gentlemen, this is why I don't stay on the liberal media sites. I don't. I really don't. This is why I go to like my alternative social media sites, because I can speak freely, speak my mind, not have to be worried about being censored, and I can say things without having to be blocked, censored, suspended, or deplatformed. Heck, even on Vero, I can post myself doing nude modeling, and I wouldn't be censored. If I did that on Instagram or Facebook, within 5 seconds I would be blocked, censored, and suspended for 30 days. I would. But on Vero, it would be accepting, and it would be called art. It would. That's why, guys, I often say this: get away from these tyrannical platforms. Get away from them. And to my lefty friends out there, if you don't think it can happen to you, post something on that site that says something differently. Post something that they don't like or agree. Post a viewpoint, or post a picture with like female breasts showing a nipple. See where that fucking gets you. Yeah, post it. I wouldn't be surprised if you get blocked, suspended, and deplatformed for 30 days. And I'll give you an example. I've had rope friends on Instagram whose accounts got nuked for no apparent reason. Yeah, they didn't do anything wrong, but their accounts got nuked for no reason. And I tell people, this is why y'all should get away from Instagram as much as possible. I mean, Vero may have its faults and problems, but Vero is better than Instagram, and Vero is at least a good alternative to Instagram. It is. If you find a better alternative to Instagram, I'm willing to entertain the idea, folks. I am. I'm willing to entertain and listen to the idea. But for me, guys, this is why I try to say like this. Y'all need to get away from these people. These people are not your friend. These people are toxic. These people are like downright toxic, downright disgusting. They are. They literally are. That's why it's like this, guys. I tell people this: if I ever get blocked, suspended, and deplatformed on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter, or not Twitter, or YouTube, or like Instagram, I say like this: I'm not worried, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm on alternative social media platforms. You can find me on Gab, MeWe, Minds, Parler, Rumble, Getter, Truth Social, and Vero. You can find me on those because I keep posting. I keep posting on those sites. And even though Facebook, Instagram, like that, or YouTube, that would block, suspend, and deplatform me, I just go like this. I'm not worried. I'll never be worried. Because you know why? I'll be like this. I'll laugh at them in the face and go, ha! Because you know why? I'll just keep on posting on alternative social media platforms, and I don't have to worry about being blocked, suspended, deplatformed, and all this shit. I just keep on going. I literally do. And believe me, guys, that's why I have alternative social media sites. And a lot of my friends think that, oh, it's a far right site. That's because y'all believe what the media tells you. Y'all don't look at it yourself. I go like this. Never listen to what the media says. If the media says one thing, go research it yourself before you make your informed decision. That's why I tell people, take a look. If you think it's a far right site, then I go like this. Stay on it for 24 hours. Let me know if it's really a far right site. Let me know if if they're hounding you for your opinions, viewpoints, and beliefs. Let me know. Yeah, let me know, guys. You know what I mean? Just let me know. In my view, guys, in my view like this, just let me know. Just let me know if you think it's a far right site. You know? Because I'll tell you this, I'll say this. I'm on those sites. It's not a far right. It's not a far right, guys. It'll never be a far right. But anyway, guys, before I go for today, because I got to go to work and all this shit, you know, I got to go to work, make the money, do this, and do this, because we all know money's money, and I need to work just to make a living. I really do, but I just want to say this, guys. I just want to say this, guys. For the love of God, guys, vote carefully, because what you vote for is what you get in this country. Yeah, what you vote for is what you get. Okay? So be careful who you vote for. You know? But other than that, guys, I probably don't got much to say, but I do want to say this, guys. We cannot walk ourselves into another world war. You know what I mean? We can't. Okay? We simply can't. Alright? But anyway, guys. I'm already nearby work, by judging by the airport here, so I'm right nearby the airport. So I thank you guys for listening to Nikki's World. I'm Nikki, your host. I will catch y'all soon, and I'll see y'all later. Bye for now. You just listened to an episode of Nikki's World. Thanks for listening. We'll see y'all soon. Bye for now.